Hello everyone, and welcome to Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous, the Redux series. I'm your host, College Fade. It's episode 1. That's right, we're going to do this again. And I'll talk a little bit about why we're going to do it again as we go along. I'm going to play on normal. I'm going to try to leave this on all the default settings. The one time I made it through the game, I did change this, remove negative conditions on rest. I'm actually going to try to play it the legit way this time. And handle negative conditions with cleric spells and potions and things like that. We'll see if it works. So those of you who might have followed this series on the old thread, on the old playlist, notice that I got to about level 60, episode 60, and I made it to the Abyss. And I recorded about 4 more episodes, but I wasn't really happy with my reactions to the game. This game can be very frustrating because of the way it makes a lot of decisions, and I don't like having those negative reactions on the channel. So I decided that since I knew so much more about the game and I'd made it to the end game and I had made a bunch of errors with my character build, in fact, I thought I just want to start it over, and I want to put it on the channel because I do want to showcase the best parts of this game, because when it's at its best, it's really good. This is a custom portrait I'm going to use because we're going to be playing a dual-wielding character. This character is going to be weak at the beginning, mediocre later, and then in Act 5, it's absolutely going to mow stuff down. It's pretty awesome. But I made some mistakes with my dual-wield character in the first series, and I'll talk about those as we go along. What do we want to start out with? Well, here's what we're going to do. We're going to start out as a rogue and not an eldritch scoundrel. And there's a reason for this. What we're actually going to do is a knife master so that we can use kukris because they have a wider critical threat range. And of course you can make it 15 to 20 by the end of the game. It's pretty wonderful. You know that I want to play an eldritch knight by the end of the game, or even the midpoint of the game. It's my favorite class. It's the classic fighter mage. You use a lot of buffs to buff your character. You don't use offensive spells. And you need a character in this game on your team who can do party buffing. Of course, you have your cleric who has a few buffs, but you really need an arcane caster to buff you with things like haste and heroism and a bunch of other spells. And the mages in the game, Nenio, for example, and Woljif, just don't cut it. Nenio needs to be turned into a full offensive caster, and Woljif, because he is an eldritch scoundrel, doesn't get spells fast enough. Here's why I don't want to use an eldritch scoundrel with my character, because you end up with a split spellbook. You can only take 10 levels in Eldritch Knight, and then you got to go back to take, if you want higher level spells, you got to go back to taking your spellcaster class. You could see the Eldritch Scoundrels just learn their spells far too slow. See, it's one every 3rd level, which is bad. So with an Eldritch Knight, you go back and you take some more levels in Wizard instead, which earns its spells every other level. So it's much better that way. So what we really want to do is you want to take 3 levels of Rogue as a Knife Master. And the reason we're going to do this is so that we can have 2 levels of sneak attack. And we also get weapon finesse for free, which we're going to need. And at 3rd level Rogue, you also get some other skill, finesse training, and this is why you want to take the 3 levels of Rogue. Whenever she makes a successful melee attack with a selected weapon, she adds her dexterity modifier instead of her strength modifier to her damage roll. We're not going to have any strength, so we need our dex for damage. You can take a mythic feat to get this same ability, but why when you can use your mythic feats on other things? I made the mistake with my dual-wield character in the last series in trying to take Slashing Grace, which does this exact same thing. But the problem is Slashing Grace only works if you have only one weapon in your primary hand and no weapon in your offhand. And I made that mistake. I took it and I didn't realize it was being completely useless. So 3 levels of Knife Master, 5 levels of Wizard, and then we go Eldritch Knight. You could take 8 levels of Eldritch Scoundrel and get to the exact same requirements to meet the Eldritch Knight thing, but again, you end up with split spell books, which really sucks, because then your spells are only as high as your Eldritch Scoundrel level. and they're only level 8 when you want them to be level 17, so, or whatever. So Knife Master is what we're going to start with, because at the very beginning of the game it's better to be able to poke a few things. We're going to choose an elf because of the distribution. And every now and then you're going to hear a little audio pause. You're just going to hear my voice drop out. I'm still dealing with a COVID cough, but I wanted to start getting these episodes out as soon as I could. Dex and Int are the two most important skills. Two most important, whatever they call these traits, that you need for an Eldritch Knight. So that's why we're going to take an elf. And let's see, male elf. Cute. We're going to take Blightborn because of this. You could see it, +1 bonus on attack rolls against outsiders and the demon subtype, which is exactly what you're going to be fighting for the whole game. And then down here, we're going to choose the Acrobat because they add trickery and mobility to the list of their class skills now. A rogue already has those, but if a character already has the class skill, weapon proficiency or armor proficiency granted, then the corresponding bonuses from the background change to a +1 competency bonus in case of skills. So we get a +1 competency bonus while we're doing trickery or mobility. I like that. That's what we want. And then we're going to do this. We're going to fix Constitution first. We're going to pump this up to 19. We're going to pump this up to 18. Done. Done deal. Perfect stat distribution for this class. We're going to grab mobility and trickery. We're going to grab Persuasion and Perception because you need those throughout the whole game. We're going to grab Use Magic Device, Knowledge, Arcana, and Knowledge World. A lot of these won't get used when we start flipping over to Wizard, so we'll take Mobility, Trickery, Perception, Persuasion. Done. We're hardly ever going to use magic devices anyways. We're going to have a ton of spells, so we don't really need it. To start the game, what you want to take is Martial Weapon Proficiency because it's a requirement for Eldritch Knight, but also this is how you can use kukris. So we do that. I'm going to grab Iomide because it's kind of a role-playing thing. Iomide is kind of important in the game. Neutral good. And then we're going to rid ourselves of headgear and backpack. And we're going to choose a hairstyle that looks a little bit more like us. I think. Let's see. That. We want to get some clothes color because our portrait is... I'm going to choose none of those. He's got like this reddish cape, right? It's kind of like this color. So... there we go. That looks more like it. Alright, our elf is just about there. And for the very few people who have actually read, who have beta read my manuscript that I'm currently querying right now, Aaron is one of the main characters. Off we go. We're going to play Wrath of the Righteous. I've had a load of fun with this game, despite many of the aggravations of playing it. They've made some really questionable design decisions in the game, but fortunately, as much as I originally hated the Crusade management system in the game, it's so much better than Kingmaker's Kingdom management, and it's actually not that hard to deal with. It's just distracting, really. This game really shines when it's in dungeon diving mode. So many, all the dungeons in the game are just fantastic. They're so well done.
Hey, somebody! We got a wounded fighter. Can we get a healer over here?
My, would you look at this? But why would you drag a wounded fighter into the middle of the festival square? Couldn't he be carted off somewhere else, like, oh, I don't know, an infirmary? Or an accommodating ditch?
One of my least favorite characters, Darren.
Now, what's the matter? What happened to him? The wound looks nasty. Who did this to him?
Demons, Prelate. We found him barely alive outside the walls of Canabris.
The walls, you say? Enemy doesn't usually stray so close to the city. Must fortify the defenses. And you, hold fast. Don't die. We'll see you right. We'll get you patched up now. But first, you there, guard. Take his weapons. Bearing arms is not permitted during the festival. Wounded or not, everyone must abide by the rules. He can get his things back after the festival. O Inheritor, leader of our troops, the sharpened edge of our blades and the unyielding strength of our armor, Iomade, I beseech you, grant your mercy. Heal his wounds. My powers are not enough here. Someone call for Terendelev. You...
Prelate, surely there is somebody else here better suited to running errands.
Oh boy, she's a little sassy, isn't she?
I'll get her! Terendelev! Has anyone seen Terendelev?
Be quick about it before it's too late. Now, who are you? I don't remember seeing you before, and I have an excellent memory for faces.
At least you're not face blindness like Brad Pitt has.
That's the first I've heard of that name. Who are you then? What's your business in the city?
You're awful nosy, mister.
My dear prelate, please, for the sake of the festivities, stop interrogating this poor man. He has been through enough already. Go on. I'll take care of him.
All right, as you wish. You are our protector, and a dragon at that. So I shall defer to your wisdom. Be on your guard. I've been informed he was wounded near Canabris. That means the demons are prowling just outside the walls, and the city is crawling with their spies. Others may be able to relax on this holiday, but not you or I. Not the defenders of this city.
Pry loose the grudging grip of pain. Cast off the veil of suffering flesh. Let light and life go forth in triumph to repel the skulking shade of death. I accept your thanks, but my work is not yet done.
Can I go?
Certainly, but be careful. I am not entirely sure what the demons did to you. This wound is no ordinary injury, and it was inflicted by no ordinary weapon. I have managed to get you back on your feet, but I have not yet healed you fully. Alas, sooner or later, your pain will return. But do not be discouraged. You will recover, I promise you that. Tomorrow, come to the cathedral and say that you are expected by Terendelev, protector of Canabris. We will find a way to help you. But for now, put this out of your mind and enjoy the festival. They are all too rare in this time of war, and merriment is one of the best medicines.
You're telling me. All right. Sample the special festival drink. That gets it all started. What's interesting is I've clicked these off before and it still wants to show me all of those things. Let's see, where's the drink? Yeah. Don't show tutorials from group advanced controls. Actually, can I just shut that off? Tutorials, basic tutorial. Off. There we go. All right, now where's the drink at? It's over here. All right, it's drink time. Let's get this party started, shall we? The sad thing with all of this is that I actually recorded the first 2 episodes of this brand new series with this character. And then I learned after the recording that OBS was failing me miserably. It was recording either the game audio or my audio, but not both. And no matter what I did, it wouldn't work. Which was a real shame. So I've had to switch to Streamlabs OBS because regular OBS is behaving like garbage. All right, I got high dexterity. It's 19. Right in the center. Okay, so you have to just do 2 of these events. I thought the drink was the trigger, but no. Just do 2 of them, and here comes the Locust Swarm.
Behold, Iomade, you poor imposter. Your city will fall to me. Your followers will
right bit of carnage happening here.
Discari, Lord of Locusts, leave my city!
Whoa.
Let the feast begin.
That was over quick.
Discari's here. Discari himself. Blimey! One minute we had a dragon, the next, bam, she was gone. What are you gonna do? Fight or flee? If fleeing's your plan, let me help you out. I've got a scroll here with a good protective spell.
Give me a weapon.
Sure thing. Here, take this. Best crossbow I've got. The person who made it said it could pierce the hide of a demon lord even. Good luck! Try not to get eaten now!
You believed the person who sold you that crossbow? Of course he does. It's his master. It's gonna poke a hole here and discard. Boom. Oh.
A mortal gnat snaps its jaws at the Lord of Locusts.
I love what they did with his voice.
Behold, Iomade. Behold the death I sow.
A lot of the voice acting in this game is a little over the top. But Discari is like spot on. I like him.
The silver dragon, Terendelev, the defender of Canabras, fell in battle. Hardly surprising, as she had to fight the demon lord Discari himself. He willed the land to part and swallow all who dared to stand in his way. But the war was still far from over.
Long way from over. Alright, so now we gotta find other survivors. We're gonna start by doing that stuff. And all we have is a lousy crossbow. Well, let's get going. Quick save my game here, because that's something I do a lot of. Oh, what do we have here?
Oh, holy mother of... Hey, stay with me. You actually got pretty lucky. You fell down into a black hole. But at least you're not on your own. You've got a great companion. Everything's going to be just fine. Tell me something. Can you feel your legs?
I feel them all right. When say no to a little less feeling in them. My ankle's killing me, but my back seems to still be in one piece. My head, too.
That's all that matters. Now, we're going to... Hey! Fancy meeting you down here. You're the one that Terendelev healed today, right? You aren't injured, are you? Will you help me get her out from under the boulders?
We will use the old knowledge world check and say we don't have to rely on brute strength for this. Try to find something to use as a lever. And there we go.
Look at you! It's good to meet someone who uses brains first and brawn second.
Damn it all. I think it's broken. Oh well, I've had worse. I'll just make myself a splint out of something. Thanks for the help. I wouldn't have lasted long on my own stuck under there. I'm Anevia Tirabade, of the Eagle Watch. I was overseeing security at the festival square. I thought maybe spies or demon worshippers might have something nasty planned. What actually happened, though, now that I did not see coming. I don't think anyone could have been prepared for that.
Well, I'm Sela, paladin by the grace of Iomade. I crossed the whole continent to come to Mendev and fight demons. And well, I've been fighting for a while now. I don't even want to think what might be happening up there in the city. Canabras has lost the protection of Terendelev, and of the Wardstone too, looks like. It's a relic without equal. It was placed here personally by Iomede's herald, with the goddess's blessing. I really wanted to go see it, to pray before it. But there's no point worrying about a stone when there are people dying in the streets.
Yeah, things are looking grim enough, but don't lose heart. Wardstone or no, dragon or no, Canabres will never give in. Simple as. Well, we've introduced ourselves. What about you?
Good to meet you. Now, tell us all about yourself.
We don't have time for that.
Whoa, girl. Slow down. Exchanging names is enough for now. We don't have time to be swapping life stories. We need to find a way out of here. Now then, I'll hobble my way out of here somehow. The city ain't far, only 30 paces or so. That's if you're going straight up, of course. I'm afraid we're gonna have to go the long way round.
To summarize, there are 3 of us, with 5 working legs, 3 pairs of decent hands, 2 clear heads, and 1 made of wood. That's mine. Underground monsters beware! Anevia, you stay behind us. You're in no fit state to fight. If we do come up against anything, the 2 of us will try to manage on our own first. Well, onward! May the good deities lead us back to the open sky soon.
They didn't help Sela out very much with their dialogue, did they? Okay, so we're going to choose a formation here like this. Keep this person there. And be on our way. There's no loot around here to help us out. So onward. Oh, there's loot right there. There's the box. There's the box with all the stuff. She's going to be in front, so I'm going to give her the Cloak of Resistance right now. I am a poker person, so we're going to swap those and do some poking. Because I've got the old backstabby. The roguish one.
Who's there? Relax, friend. We're not demons or cultists. Don't poke my eye out with that thing, all right? We fell down here during the attack. I'm Sela, that's Anevia, and this is our new friend. We're looking for a way back to the surface.
Really? I'm so ever glad to hear it. Allow me to introduce myself. I am Camellia. I was also in the square when... I can scarcely believe it. How did all those demons get into the city? I thought, naively it now seems, that the Wardstone protected us from attack. And Terendelev, I can't wrap my head around it.
We need to keep moving.
That's right. It would be the height of foolishness to survive a demon attack only to perish under a pile of rubble.
Are you coming with us then? The more the merrier, and that blade of yours is nothing to sniff at.
Certainly. Survivors should stick together. It's only sensible. Who knows what else could be prowling about in these caves?
Let's see if this poor bloke has anything useful on him. Not to sound like a heartless brigand or nothing, but we kinda need all the supplies we can get right now.
Alright. A dagger. I don't have dual wielding yet, so no sense in worrying about that. She's got a rapier. We're going to adjust this right here. Doink, doink. There we go. We got to keep Sela out in front because even though this says hold the line, which means that upon receiving the attack command, the party members will move forward toward the enemy at the speed not exceeding the speed of the party member position at the front. That's not entirely true. It just still kind of doesn't work. So we just need to give Sela a head start. And off we go. To fight the little bugs. There we go. Alright. Anevia's taking us down to bug heaven. Oh, let's see. And she has little abilities here. She has some cure light wounds. And she has this other, what is this? Battle spirit, right. It receives +1 morale bonus on attack rolls and weapon damage rolls. Let's get that down here on the front line. Ghost, touch, spirit enhancement. If we want to use that. Object Bond, yeah, restore a spell we haven't used once per day, and Treat Affliction, which we're not going to be using very much. So I'm going to have her heal herself, and we'll go attack. We're going to attack the Fallout 4 bloatfly. Yay. Alright. More bugs. Oh yeah, sister. Giant centipedes dying. It's just how we like them. This guy's got some bracers. We already have some bracers on. We get engraved lucky bracers. These are bracers of armor. She can actually wear those. Oh, but it clashes with her suit. Okay. No sweat there then. What's this? Potion of enlarged person. We'll save that for our person who's going to be the big person later. Actually, I need to switch these around, which means I need to switch this. Yes, I'm not going to be in front, at least not yet. Not till Act 5. And then we are definitely going to be in the front. It took me a couple of playthroughs of this game to finally figure out which mythic path I wanted to do, or which mythic paths I wanted to do in sequence. This particular class, playing an Eldritch Knight Battle Mage, works really well if you're going to play the Legend mythic path. The other mythic paths are not really set up to synergize well with an Eldritch Knight. The only one that is the Lich path, because you can combine your arcane spell books. But the problem is I don't want to be evil, so I have no interest in playing me evil. I may go through the game later on like my 5th or 6th playthrough and choose the Lich mythic path and try to play the game evil, just so I can see what the class is like. Because I'm very interested in seeing that.
I can't just walk away. It's got to be here somewhere. Wendwag!
Evil Spider-Man.
Lan, did you find it? Who is that?
The do-gooders here to save our mongrel souls, no doubt. Wait. They might know what's going on up there.
We do. Demons are laying waste to Canabras.
If things are as bad as you say, then we all have to hurry.
You didn't come from the direction of the shield maze. Damn it. I couldn't care less about what's happening on the surface, but the maze.
I realize that you guys have your own troubles, but we need to be in Canabras. People are dying up there. Please, show us the way out.
What are you doing here?
That's none of your bit.
We're looking for a holy sword. It was here, in the center, sticking out of a rock. The sooner we find it, the better. Some kids from our tribe took off for the shield maze. They figured it had collapsed, and now it's their time to go up to the surface, like all the legends foretold. Except they don't have a clue what's waiting for them up there. They're not fighters. And Saul, the chief of our tribe, is dead set against it. He says that now isn't the time for the underground crusaders to take up arms. If we get the holy sword, we might be able to change the chief's mind.
It's a fool's errand. None of us will be able to hold the sword, let alone use it to save anyone. It's not an ordinary weapon. It's made from righteous heavenly flame and will burn anyone who touches it. Do you think you're special, Lan?
I'll pick it up with my teeth and tie it to my hand if I have to. It doesn't matter. An angel's sword and a troop of stalwart mongrels will be able to work a minor miracle. Speaking of which, you're still here, Wendu, which means that deep down, you know it's possible.
All right. Well, we'll find the sword faster if we work together.
Thanks. An extra pair of eyes can only help. The sword will be easy enough to spot. It looks, swordy. Help us, and in return, we'll get you out of here.
Now we're talking. Let's get to work.
What, you want to find the sword quickly so the underground monsters bring you back to the surface? So be it.
Yeah, so there's a... Let's see, do we have... Yeah. If we get close enough... There's a bunch of little pieces of loot in here. Tiny, tiny, tiny pieces of loot.
What do we have here?
But it's nice to get them off the map. Oh, and there was a piece of loot we left back there. What did we leave back here? I'm not going to leave loot behind. We need it. Here's the thing. We got to come up with 2,500 gold pieces as fast as possible because we have to hire a mercenary. And the reason we have to hire a mercenary is because the game doesn't do a very good job of giving us a second tank. Seela works pretty good as a main tank. As a paladin, you put a shield on her. She does a good job. But you need somebody in the second slot. And there's a lot of really great swords in the game. So you need like an off tank who can do a ton of offensive damage. And I have a character that I like to use as a mercenary who's been very good at doing it in my other playthroughs. So
Now what is that?
a class build that works really well. So we'll be hiring us a mercenary when we get to the inn at Canabras where they're setting everything up. Alright, we have to do this. A strange flash pierces the gloom and Aaron feels drops of searing blood run down his chest. The wound healed by Terendelev reopens and weeps scarlet, but there is no pain or weakness. A hazy scene appears. A cave chamber. This one or another one entirely. Aaron's heartbeat quickens and streams of thoughts suddenly burst into his mind. Thoughts that clearly belong to another. Treachery. They betrayed me, trapped me, and stabbed me in the back. My name is Caesar. My trusted allies, my treasured friends, the people I have sworn to protect, the people for whom I descended from heaven and came to this turbulent mortal world. There they are, up ahead in the gloom of the cave. What are they waiting for? Are they afraid to draw any closer? Do they believe I am about to die from their traitorous blows? Next to me, a quiet moan. A girl with golden braid lies on the rocks, clutching her slashed side. She refuses to join with the traitors and paid dearly for it. I could have tried to run, but I will not. Whilst I still have strength, I must heal the wounded girl. A spark of healing magic illuminates the eerie, murky scene before you. The wounded girl opens her eyes and whispers, Lariel, you said that everything was going to change soon. You said you and the other warriors of heaven would be leaving us on a grand mission to stop the demons forever. Is that true? The frenzy of foreign thoughts comes faster and faster like a rushing river, and images flash by one after another. A priestess in colorful robes observing the stars. You'll meet them in later Act 5? Act 3? End of Act 3, I think. A young female paladin praying, clutching her glowing sword. Hey. A majestic golden winged angel gazing into the distance. Oh yeah, he's coming. His face covered by a helmet, but his voice ringing clear. Only if you're willing, and only if you're ready. There is no going back to the abyss. Then don't waste your strength healing me, the girl whispers. Your mission is more important. Take care, it is near. There, in the vision, the darkness in the cave stirs into motion. Something massive appears from within its depths, a vague shadow, an outline. A nightmare come to life. A wave of odious chirruping and rustling emanates from the shadows, the sound piercing like hot irons lancing through flesh and bone. The traitors fall to their knees before the shadow in reverent ecstasy, and the wounded girl thrashes in her death throes. The yawning chest wound burns white hot. Aaron's head pounds with pain, and it is no longer clear whose pain it is, the person called Lariel who sent this vision, or the one unlucky enough to receive it. Alright, but I know how to resist the malign influence such as this, no matter its origin. Succeed in an arcane check. The force of the attack, though originating in a vision, is terrifying, but Aaron is stronger. He shakes off the pain and torpor, but alas, the one who sent the vision cannot claim the same. He is broken and exhausted. A monstrous shadow emerges from the murk of the cave. It is not real. It exists only in the strange vision or memory. But the thrill of fear it provokes is more than real. The shadow's features starkly resemble those of Discari, the terrifying demon lord. In a movement as swift as thought itself, the monster's hand is wrapped around the throat of the one they call Lariel, the foolish angel struggling on the rocks. Like a fly with its wings torn off, intones the shadow. Its voice changes as it moves, shifting from a quiet whispering to a sonorous shout, becoming young, then old and quavering. Where is your goddess, angel? Where is her self-assured herald? How is it that you are dying here alone, so far from the light of your heaven? A strange calm envelopes the thoughts of the one called Lariel. He recognizes who stands before him, and he knows he will never bow before this enemy. The flaming sword flares to life in his hand, bright, pure, flickering with multicolored sparks like a sunbeam through stained glass. Slash! The blade slices through the demonic creature's flesh, and the monster recoils with a howl, releasing his grip on Lariel's throat. The angel falls back heavily on the rocks. His vitality is ebbing, but his pride remains undiminished. He grips the sword, and with his last burst of strength, plunges it into the rock. Aaron senses that the vision is fading, the rush of thoughts diminishing like a river running dry. The last thing he hears is this: "You will kill me, monster. This I know. But one day, someone will come here and raise up my sword. They will raise it up and save and protect the innocent." The vision disappears, vanishing with the burst of colors. Aaron does not hear the final words, but he seems to complete the thought, taking it to heart. The words fly from his lips, and with them something else. The heat blazing in his chest fades away. The edges of the scarlet wound close, leaving not even a scar behind. Looking down, he sees the flaming sword in his hand, or rather, its outline. The memory of what the sword looked like. With a final surge of warm and soothing light, the sword vanishes, and the light is drawn into his hand. He senses that it will return. All he need to do is call it. It's one way to pull a sword from a stone.
Hey, are you all right? You were kinda glowing just now.
That was it. The light of heaven. But how?
What did you do with it? Where did it go?
I think I saw the members of Lariel, the angel who died here.
Lariel?
Lariel,
That
okay.
really was Lariel? The angel from the legends. The ancestors even got his name right on the gravestone. The chief will be thrilled.
You. Thousands of gongs, and no one's been able to touch it. And now you, an ordinary creature of flesh and blood, no different to us, get the sword and start talking about visions.
I'm special that way.
Now, Wentwog, don't be a sore loser. He is clearly different from us. The sword appeared before him, along with the angel's name and all that other stuff, because he doesn't carry our mongrel taint. Heaven doesn't give a damn how special we are. We're born with evil inside us. Heaven doesn't need to know any more than that.
You also haven't been messed with by demons.
I know you're willing to tear anyone apart to uphold our people's honor, but you and Sol, you just refuse to face the truth. We are the way we are because our ancestors' bodies were corrupted by the Abyss. It does the same thing to plants and animals. There's nothing heroic or special about it. It doesn't make us better, and it doesn't make us worthier.
Alright, Angel Mythic Path. It seems I can control it. Boing.
That is just... wow, I mean, that's amazing. Heaven has truly blessed you.
This power is the most majestic thing I've ever seen in all my life. Is this what the sun is like, Lan?
Yes, it's similar. But this light is more... golden? Chief Sol needs to see this. Now that we have the power of angels on our side, he can't say no. He'll have to assemble a troop to storm the maze. You Uplanders care about your kids, right? Help us save ours. Without them, we won't survive. And then, the perils of the maze won't be so bad if we go together. We'll make our way through it and find the way to Canabras.
Off we go.
Let's go. We'll take the short route. Well, the only route, really.
Whoa there. Loot. Don't forget it.
What do we have here?
Any more on the map? Nope. Okay. We're about to reach the point. Oh, here we go. So, let's do this. What do we want? Do we want the two archers kind of like here? She's a warrior, but she's a fighter, but she's set up as an archer. So, there's no point putting her on the front line. Smashing. Anivia did some serious damage that time. That was nice. She did 32 damage. She got a crit. That was something else. Okay. Which way do we have to go? We got this. I think the rubble just takes us over here to a dead skeleton. And it's up here. Oh no, these guys. Okay.
You've crossed the wrong mongrel.
Uh-oh. I took a little bit of a hit poo there. Oh no. Uh-oh. I fall down and go boom. Okay. I'll have to use all of those right now. I can't be wandering around here hurt. Oh, but we finally get the Cure Light Wounds wand. Perfect. Over here. Give it to her. She can actually use it. Very nice. Get us over there, Lan. Alright, onward. It's a giant bloatfly. Yep, everybody. Another crossbow. We'll get to the shield maze. Always kind of funny that they call it the shield maze. It's just a nice little starter dungeon. I'm not sure why they call it a maze, though. Hey, good job, folks. Yay. And that's a big, huge... That's a masterwork greatsword. I believe it is. So what I'm going to do is... This. She doesn't need this torch. I'm going to flip her over to this for right now. Use that greatsword to try to do some additional damage. And what do we have here? Oh yeah, Wenduog. Listen here, you. I don't know who you are or where you come from, but you and I are the only two people here who see things clearly. That's why I'm asking you. Don't show the light of heaven. Okay, I'll think about it. Yeah, she wants you to not show the light of heaven, but she's an evil creature. So I don't know what her motivations are exactly, but I'm not going to follow evil creatures, and I'm not going to do what they tell me to do. So we get to Neath Home. Nice place, lots of loot around here to grab before we continue on with our quest. Here comes Chief Saul. The big fella. Your first impression of the mongrel village is a squalid dump with odors to match. Oof. Heavyset aged mongrel slowly shuffles toward you. Hair on his head grows in limp, wispy strands, and his face has a distinctly rat-like appearance with pronounced teeth. And you hear a rattling sound in his chest with every breath he takes, kind of like me right now with COVID. Uplanders, end times are upon us. Chief Soul, we found the angel sword, and we found the one who can wield it. Lan points at you. He had a vision. And now the angel's sword, together with the light of heaven, are somehow inside him. Gather the tribe, anyone who can hold a weapon. The young ones are still alive. We can go save them. Sol raises his hand with a ragged, broken fingernail. Lan, always dreaming, always talking. You're too hasty. Too hasty for your own good. It's going to get you in trouble. He eyes you up and down. An uplander with the light of heaven. That's too good for us. Our kind don't have good things happen. There's always a catch. Lan trusts people because he likes to believe. Isn't that right, Lan? I'm the chief. I don't work on faith. Show the light. Alright, Angel Mythic Path. Give it to me. Ignore Wenduog. So it's true. The angel did not forsake us. He came back from the dead, to save our children. Lan gives you a nod of thanks. The scaled half of his face is indifferent, but the human half is visibly relieved, as if he wasn't sure all this time you would support him. Wenduog hisses at you like an angry cat. See these fishermen and these hunters, these husks of men and women, their blood will be on your hands. We have the blessing of angels. We will survive and help the young tribesmen. Idiot! You see a bright light, and now you think even the maze is no match for you. You always think the worst, Wendu. We're not on our own in this anymore. We've got allies. Well, a couple at least. But one good fighter's worth 10 bad ones. You have the right of it, Lan, but we're Neathers. We're gonna wait. I sent a messenger to summon all the tribes. It'll take time, but they will come. They will all come for the light. Wait, Lan. Wait, Uplander. Rest a while in one of our huts. So, resting gets this thing kicked off. But before we go rest, we want to plunder and level up. And then that'll be the end of episode 1. We will continue on in the shield maze. Let's see, where are all the loot pieces here? Where are they? Oh, and we got Horga Squirm. I forgot about him. Horga Squirm of the Secrets of Horga Squirm. Finally, someone from the surface. I was beginning to lose hope. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Horga Squirm. Yes, that Gworm. You no doubt heard of me if you spend any time at all in the city. I have a business proposition for you. Go on. I don't know what is happening on the surface right now, but I am determined to find out. You have no intention of seeing out the rest of your days in this village, I suspect. We must find a route back to the surface, to the city, if there's anything left of it. You look promising, like someone who can turn a demon into mincemeat before they have time to sneeze. I could use a companion like you. You are strong. It will be no trouble to you. But I, alas, am not as fit as I once was. I can't go crawling through caves playing at scouts. My proposition is simple. Lead me back to the city and I shall pay you 1,000 gold coins. All right, deal. Splendid. In the meantime, I shall sit here in the village. All right, yeah, we need that 1,000 gold coins. If you try to barter for the 2,000, it makes Sela a little cranky. But remember, we got a mercenary to hire. We got stuff down here by the docks, I think. Maybe. Where is all this stuff? There's some loot way back up here. Anyway. The game has enough of good parts that it kept me coming back even through all my frustrations. It took 3 attempts to get through the game. The first attempt I got to like Act 3 and quit. The second attempt you saw on YouTube, I got to Act 4 and quit. And then the next one I got to Act 5 and wanted to rage quit because there's a couple of things that happen basically at the start of Act 5 that are really, really frustrating. But I persisted, and I'm glad I did. I just wish that the game didn't have these frustrating parts in it. And it has less to do with the crusade management part. I mean, the crusade management part is frustrating, no doubt. It's not frustrating so much as it is just distracting. But, oh, I still got some more loot down here. But there are other parts in the game, other design decisions they made that are actually more aggravating and frustrating than the distraction of the crusade mode. So, hut for resting, and there's some loot by it. Okay, we're gonna go rest. But first we have to level up, and that'll help me give myself some defenses, because right now I have an armor class of 17, which isn't great. So we're going to grab this. All right. Now let's level everybody up. Wenduog, she's a fighter, but she's a bow and arrow fighter. So I want to give her deadly aim. Take a minus on penalty on attack rolls to gain damage rolls. Actually, so here's what I'm going to do. You're going to have to fight Wenduog later. So what I'm going to do is give her something that's not very good. Let's give her 2 weapon fighting, because she's not going to be wielding 2 weapons. Lan is going to get Zen Archer stuff. Precise shot. You shoot or throw weapons at an opponent engaged in melee without taking a standard -4 penalty on your attack roll. Yes, we desperately need that. Way of the Zen longbow. Camellia, Spirit Hunter, her stuff. I'm going to give her healing, though. It's a cure spell. We're going to need this. That takes her off her normal path. Sela, Paladin, but we want to start taking Slayer levels with her. I give her 3 levels of Slayer so she can get some backstab, some sneak attack damage. So this is Knowledge World, Mobility, Persuasion. I don't need her to have Persuasion. I'm going to give her Lore Religion instead. And then me. And I'm going to take my first level as a wizard. As a Thessalonian specialist. So mobility, trickery, perception, persuasion. We're going to take combat casting, because occasionally we will cast spells in combat. And then we're going to choose envy, which locks you. Well, it doesn't lock you out of. Yeah, it does lock you out of necromancy and evocation, or it makes them really hard spells to cast. They cost a lot of slots, I think. We want shield, enlarge person, mage armor, reduce person for sure. Magic weapon is a nice one to have. What else do I know? Oh, grease is a good one to have. Let's see. Do I want summon monster right now or something else? Probably color spray. It's pretty good early. This gives you an extra deflection bonus. I'll take that for now. I probably won't end up using it though. Cool thing is he's got some spells now. So we're going to say, yeah, give me shield, give me a mage armor, and give me a reduced person so I can have some more dexterity. And then we'll rest. And we're going to be awakened with the sense that a messenger returned, the tribes are gathering, everything's going to plan, but one thing's bothering me. Wenduog has gone. Alright. Let's go. So. Off we go. Party like it's 1999. And we will make our way to episode 2, the Shield Maze, which is a lot of fun. I like it. It's a great first little dungeon to introduce the game. I'm pretty happy with the way they did it. It's laid out nicely. It's got one puzzle that has an obscure clue. So.
You've crossed the wrong mongrel.
Oh yeah, baby. And there we are. At the Shield Maze. Why it's called that, I'm not quite sure. The tribes are gathering, and soon we will attack. How long can we wait? Well, as long as that old man wants you to. The other tribes haven't turned up yet. We'll just wait for them. Knowing so, the preparations will take the best part of the day. Let's go take a look. Yeah, let's go do it ourselves. Let's rush into the glory. So we'll squeeze through here and we'll call it good. All right, this is where we're going to start episode 2 right here. Folks, thanks for watching. As always, if you dig it, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to this channel, leave your questions and comments down below. Those tweak the algorithm. We're going to go all the way through the game with this. I now know what I'm doing. This has been one of the most amazing games for that, as far as a lot of games you can play. A lot of CRPGs, you almost have to play through the first time and make a ton of mistakes and then go through and have the fun playthrough with it. And this is no exception, except this one actually took me even longer to get down some of the different things it's doing with the rules and the way it loads up its enemies and issues like that. So it just took a lot of attempts to really get it. I do actually want to try to play the game on core difficulty sometime, and I might do that when I go evil and do the Lich path. Core is really hard, man. Because even on normal, there are enemies later in the game that can kill Sela and can kill my my other primary tank with one hit, and that's just on normal with reduced criticals and everything. So there are, of course, epic, mythic feats you can take to help that out, that let them fight on for 2 rounds so you can get them some healing and stuff. There are things you have to do in the game. There's some mythic stuff you really need to take, but it's a fun game in the end. I'm still trying to decide what I want to give it for like a final grade, but I guess what my feeling is, there's more good than bad, even though some of the bad is really bad and really annoying. There's more good than bad. Dungeon diving like this in the shield maze, this is a blast, and the whole game has tons of dungeons and they're all fun. So I'll see y'all next time. Thanks for watching.